What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Judgemental Wrestlefest episode 7. 'Cause remember last time I couldn't remember what episode we was on.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Right. This is Leroy here and Josh. So a long time. This has been a year ago, right? Since the last WrestleMania.
Yes, yes.
So how's everything?
Now everything's been good, man. Family good, work good. You know, just living life, man. Trying to
Mhm.
trying to stay in the loop with this wrestling thing. So
Right. Well, the reason for me why we haven't done this in a while is because the last couple of pay-per-views, I haven't really watched them until like a week or two. A week had passed.
yeah,
So you shake your head, so you must be doing the same thing.
yeah. Like I said, I've been working a lot. So and for me, I guess WrestleMania is a time of year where you can like press the reset button.
Right.
So um no, so it's good for me to, trying to get back in try to get back into what wrestling is, what wrestling is and stuff. So
Right. And plus, and also with like the TV shows, the only one I really watch live is Dynamite. That's the only one I watch live. The other ones I just watch it the next day or something. Now,
yeah.
now today Collision is on, but I'm looking at UFC, so I look at Collision later or tomorrow or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, not saying it's
And
bad or anything. It's just that I do, I just watch it like a day or two later or so.
no, I get it. Like I try to keep in touch with AEW, but like I said, WWE is pretty much, I don't know, got a chokehold on me right now,
Hmm.
figuratively speaking, because you got like I said, you got Raw Live on Netflix, which is so accessible now.
Yeah, right.
Then you got um NXT, which is on CW, and you can watch that for free the next day with no problem.
Right.
Then um you got WWE Evolve. And excuse me, I've been really keeping my eye on that. That look like it's good.
Right.
Which is on Tubi.
Right. We can get into because you asked me how I feel about it. We can get into that when we done with the reviews because, like you said, it's a good show, but it's one thing they mess up about. Well, it's two things actually. Well, we'll get into that one.
Okay.
Um, we'll start off with NXT Stand and Deliver. Stand and Deliver was at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. Good crowd too. So we got the takeover preview match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Title #1 Contender Elimination Match. Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxel defeated Fatal Influence, Metaphor, and Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez via pinfall in 12:52. I didn't watch that. Did you see it?
You know what though? I'm not even gonna lie to you. I did not get a chance to watch none of that. I was starting to, from what I heard from different parts of the crowd, from different parts of the audience, that was a good show. That was a NXT always brings, especially during WrestleMania. See, it always shows the best. So, but I plan on watching the replay and stuff.
Hmm.
Uh, but to give you like my full take on it, but I seen some of the highlights and stuff from that particular match. It looked pretty good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't see any highlights or anything about it. I didn't even know they did a pre-show un-
Yeah,
until I saw it on, the people talking about it on the internet and everything.
yeah.
So we got the first start of the show is the NXT North American Championship. Ricky Saints defeated Ethan Page in 12 minutes and 43 seconds. Saints won with a Rochambeau. Good match there, by the way. What is your thoughts on that one?
Man, I love Ricky Saints.
Mm-hmm.
Look, Ricky Starks, whatever you want to call him, but he's a future world champion amongst, Trick Williams, Javon Evans, or Overfamily. In my personal opinion. Um, like I said, he can play both heel and babyface.
Yes.
Like I said, he got a mouthpiece that rivals stuff from like the Attitude Era, the P and the PG era. So, but as far as the match is concerned, it was a really solid match.
Yeah, very solid. Yeah, it was good. A good match. Next one, we got the NXT Tag Team Championship. Hank Walker and Tank Ledger defeated Franksome, Nathan Frazier, and Axum to win the NXT North American Championship in 14 minutes. Hank and Tank pinned Frazier with that spear powerbomb combination they did. Well, Franksome is I'm probably messing up their name. They're a good tag team anyway. Looks like they've been brought up to the main roster, and well, we'll get into that later. So, what are
Yeah.
your thoughts? What are your thoughts on that one?
Well, Nathan Frazier and Axiom are really great tag team.
Yes,
Now Hank and Tank. Now I've seen some of their matches. That I think they're just placeholder champions right now.
agreed.
Until I see like a real tag team like the Cullen or I don't know, maybe Metaphor come back into the picture as a tag team. So
Well, I think that that was especially that what's the name is back. Well, we'll get into that too. Also, so
hmm
he's back. So that was actually a good heel group, by the way.
yeah,
Um, I think that, like you said, they're placeholders. They really don't do anything for me. They're not bad or anything, but they're not really, doing anything special. What
yeah,
I'm thinking at the that dark state, one of the two from the dark state, it will be like the next tag team champions. The way they're being pushed, there's somebody's going to get a title out of that group.
oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. If not, it'll be a North American championship. So
Right. So we go on to the NXT Women's North American Championship match. It was a ladder match. Zara versus Kalani Jordan versus Sol Ruka versus Izzy Dame versus Lola Vice versus Thea Hal. Sol Ruka won with her Soul Snatcher on Dame. It was a double Soul Snatcher on. She did a Soul Snatcher on Dame first. Then she did a double Soul Snatcher on Hal and Vice. Good, good. I'm not really too fine. I wrote down on my notes that I'm not really a fan of ladder matches, and I hate when they got like the title on the belt in the air, and they got to fight to take the belt off, and then they like sitting there on the ladder while somebody's holding the ladder, pulling them down on the ladder, and all that stuff. I hate ladder matches like that, but good finish with that with her doing her that double soul snatcher on Howell and Vice. And I like how everybody on here I really like. Soul Ruka lost a little steam because she got hurt. If she didn't get hurt, she might be on the main roster of one of those that going back and forth like Roxanne Perez. She
yeah,
might have been up there, but she kind of lost steam when she got hurt. So, what is your thoughts on this match?
like I said, Sol Ruka is uber talented. Like she's probably one of the most talented wrestlers I've seen in a long time, and I'm talking male and female
Hmm.
wrestlers. Like I said, if you um, I saw that was pretty much the match of the night. If to be honest with you, like
Yes.
yeah, like to be quite honest, I like ladder matches. Like it presents more, I guess, organized, chaotic element to a match.
Right.
To me it was pretty good. Like I said, all the women in that match are super athletic. Like I say, and you can. It's not like the days of bra and panty matches. Thank God.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, they got something. The main roster better watch out for like I said, the talent like this because they're coming fast.
Right. Hmm. Exactly. I agree, and I like Thea Hell too because I like how she make those facial expressions.
Yeah,
She kind of lost steam too when they broke up that group that she was in, but it's
yeah,
all right. So she was on the next show also when she came back. So, and Lola Vice, how you mentioned Ricky Saints, Starks,
hmm,
whatever you want to call them. She definitely should be already on the main roster already. Like you said, she can play a face and a heel very
yeah.
good too, surprisingly well also. So, like you said, it's a clutter of good women in NXT, and some of these guys are going to have to go up. They're going to have to.
Say that again. My fault.
That's all right. I said it like you in NXT, like you said, it's a lot of good women on a roster, and some of them going to have to move up.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, and like I said, they're coming. Like they're gonna come. They're gonna be there
Hmm.
quicker than than you think. Like they got talent. They got talent to move up right now. If
Yes,
you being honest with you.
yes. Hmm. Now we got a six-man tag match. Dark State defeated D'Angelo family. I don't had to name them in 13 minutes and 10 seconds with D'Angelo. Who turned? It was Stacks turned on D'Angelo,
Yeah.
and yeah, and that's when they had won that way. And I wrote down on my notes that D'Angelo is awesome, but he has a bad gimmick.
Yeah, it's such a um Tony D'Angelo got such a I don't want to say bad gimmick. I just it's so I guess cliche of a gimmick. Like
Hmm.
you know, you would think like Vince McMahon made that gimmick for him. Yeah, yeah, that kind of
Old school type of gimmick, like he
yeah,
likes. Yeah. Hmm.
yeah. Uh, but I mean, I guess but I did like the heel turn from Stacks. He I think he's gonna play a good heel.
Hmm.
Um, uh, him him and Crucifino. I forget his first name, but I know his last name pretty good.
Hmm.
Um, not like I said, it was a good match.
Yeah.
Uh, like I say, Dart State, they got talent. They got talent on that little team. Um, I just hope they don't treat them what retribution was during the the Thunderdome era.
Yep.
I can
Yep.
almost see that happening.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because it's almost the same gimmick.
yeah.
So we got a fatal four-way for the NXT Women's Championship. Stephanie McCord defeated Jada Parker, Julia, and Jordan Grace to retain the NXT Women's Championship in 16 minutes and 20 seconds. Valkyra won the match with the SVP on Parker. There's another group of women that's very talented too. Uh, yeah, some of those. Valkyria needs a title run. Julia too. That should be the two main points. But Jada Parker, what do you do with her right now?
Oh man, that's a great question. Um, to me, Jada Parker needs a little bit more seasoning.
Hmm.
Like she, like I said, she's got the talent. She like I said, she can cut a promo with the best of them. But in ring wise, she just missing. She's just missing a little something.
Right.
I can't put I can't put my finger on it. She got it, but she doesn't have all of it yet. And it doesn't like I said, it's going to happen more sooner than later. Like
Hmm.
she's good. She is real good. Like I said before, she can cut the promo with the best of them. She can talk. She's got talent. I don't know what else. Her that little hood gimmick that she got. It works. It works well.
Now here's the thing. Now, did you see the vignette when they showed her going to her hometown and her mom and her dad and all that stuff?
Yeah,
Now, are they trying to make her a face or what? Because she's like the Stone Cold Steve Austin,
like an anti-hero.
right?
I don't know. I don't. And I think that's what it is. We don't know. If we want to boo her or cheer her.
Right.
And to me, that is quite confusing. Like pick a lane, stick with it.
Hmm.
You know, don't be a face, don't be a baby face here, then be a heel the next day. You
Right.
know, it to me that confuses the fans. Like pick a
Hmm.
lane, drive it home for a while, and move on.
You saying so much stuff that we gonna get into later too with that
Yeah.
statement right there. Now
Okay.
Jordan, she should have went to the main roster after the Royal Rumble. When they
Oh
signed
yeah.
her, she should have been on the main roster instead of in NXT.
Yeah, like she's a main roster talent
Yep.
off rep. Giving her time in TNA, being a champion for so long and stuff.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I, I don't know how they're gonna keep the momentum with her going and stuff if if she's still in NXT.
Yep. So we got a triple threat match for the NXT Championship. Ober Family defeated Javon Evans and Trick Williams to retain the championship in 16 minutes and 55 seconds. Ober powerbomb Trick onto Javon and did another powerbomb on Javon to win, to pin him. I wrote down on my notes, I'm worried about Javon when it comes to main roster, on a main roster. Very talented, but I don't see them pushing him anywhere. Trick should have been going, and everybody think that Obafemi is like the next big thing. Uh, uh, I think Trick was the one, but they kind of messed him up a bit by the way he was being pushed. But what are your thoughts on the match?
The match was good. The match was real good. Yeah, I agree with you about Javon Evans. As the same way I do about Jada Parker. Like I say, he need a little bit more seasoning too. Like if you put him on the main roster, if you put Javon Evans on the main roster now, you're he's a mid Carter at best
Yes.
right now.
Hmm.
And if and in a roster full of mid Carters, he would get lost. I give
Yes.
him I will give him I'll give him another push. You know, put a I'll say year and a half. To put him on the main roster. Trick
Agreed.
Williams, Trick Williams, like you said, he should have been gone. Like I said, and I don't like where this is going with him now because
Hmm.
they should have. Like I said, he's super talented. To me, he's a 5 tool player as
Yes.
far as he can.
See, I think
Go
that
ahead.
they should put Trick and Mello back together again on a main roster. They don't have to be a tag team or anything, but like a group with just them two.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
Now,
Mello is going nowhere fast, especially when he's with the Miz and all that stuff. You're going nowhere fast.
yeah, I agree. I agree.
Hmm.
Now, like I said, put like I said, Trick got it. Trick got it. Shoot, Over Femi got it. Like
Mm-hmm.
you know, he's got it. He's a foul tool player too. Too like they need to put rocket ships on both those two backs and shoot them as far as they can to the main roster.
Right. Right. So, our WrestleMania Night One review. First of all, before I get into this, I want to give a shout out to Cameron. Yes, the rapper Cameron. Did you see the Street Profits on there?
No.
So the Street Profits on there, and Cameron brought up, why are you not on WrestleMania? And you the tag team champions. And they made a PC. Well, we're starting it off with SmackDown. No, WrestleMania, all belts should be on the line, all belts. And you the tag team champions, and you're not on WrestleMania. Now I'm thinking when I'm listening to this, I'm like, okay, maybe they'll change. But nope, they definitely wasn't
Yeah,
on WrestleMania.
which I have reservations about that because we'll get into that in a second.
All right. This is night one. Lions Stadium in Paradise, Nevada. I don't know how far is that from Las Vegas. I guess it can't be that far. We got the World Heavyweight Championship. Jey Uso defeated Gunther to win the WWE Championship in 16 minutes and 23 seconds. Jay tapped Gunther out with a sleeper. I wrote down Jay will not be a long-term champ. I'm thinking like some kind of way like Drew McIntyre or Damian Priest is going to be in the mix on having that belt. Um, it kind of ended weird with that sleeper there, but what was your thoughts on the match?
I thought it was a good match. It had a lot of it reminded me of an old school wrestling match from like you know to 87 to 1990 type style where you got this incredible wrecking machine versus this hot shot. You know, yeah, no, it was good. I wish they would have moved it up the card though. That shouldn't have
Agreed.
been. Yeah, that shouldn't have
Agreed.
been an opening match.
The next match should have been the opening match.
Yeah, and you know what though? If I think I know what you're talking about, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, for the for the World Tag Team Championships, the New Day defeated the War Raiders to win the tag championships in 9 minutes and 12 seconds. Wood distracted the referee while Kingston tripped Ivar off the top rope. New Day got rid of Eric and hit Ivar with the up down down. Woods pinned Ivar while Kingston held Ivar's feet down. The referee didn't see it to win the title. I wrote down on my notes. I never was a fan of the New Day, but I like them as being heels. And this should have been the first match. So what are your thoughts?
All right. I guess I'm gonna give my honest opinion. If you're gonna have that match, if you're gonna have that match on WrestleMania, why not have the triple threat match on WrestleMania?
Agreed.
Like, yeah, God, that was. I've always been a New Day fan,
Mm-hmm.
but that right there, that was a horrible match. That was stupid. that was a stupid ass match.
Agreed.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. I mean, that match, that little storyline came basically out of nowhere, where you have on SmackDown, DIY, Motor City Machine Guns, and the Street Profits all fight for the top. That was a good. That's a good storyline.
Yes.
But you, they picked the wrong match to have in WrestleMania. That should have been on Night After Raw. I mean,
Yes.
Night After Mania.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And then how about how the Royal Raiders came out dressed like the Classic Clan?
You know what? Another thing that got me too. God, boy, they were pushing the absolute hell out of advertising.
Oh yeah.
Like,
And how about all the stuff that was in between matches? Good God. It
I'm
was like
telling you.
5 minutes long.
Like I said, this next match is brought to you by Dude Wipes, Pepsi Cola,
Yes.
uh,
Yes.
Xeron copier machines. Man, damn, like,
Yep. Exactly. That's exactly what they was doing. I'm like, damn, every match is like 10 minutes in between.
mm-mm, mm-mm. I said, I get it. You got to make your money, but great, they ain't want you.
Right.
You put you really pushing boundaries when you got to advertise everything before the match. This
Hmm.
next match is brought to you by Slim Jim. Man. Let me stop.
Well, the next match that we already talked about, Jade Cargill defeated Naomi, and this feud they had. Jade won with the Jade reverse power bomb. I wrote down this crowd is dead for this match, and for something that been pushed on every week, been pushing. They actually really did been pushing this match and everything, and the segment that Naomi had, I thought that was real good. I'm like, damn, they have to put a belt on Naomi after that segment where she was crying and all that stuff. Very good segment. And I couldn't believe that the crowd just really didn't care. They didn't care until like the end of the match. But like you said, it was a match I was looking forward to, but it didn't really show me anything. What was your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it was dead, and I was dead too. Like, to me, like the storyline, the storyline was good. The storyline was hot. Like, you know, you can't you can't that was really good. And let's take into account this is the first this is the first women's match, and I say women's match where it's a single match, one on one, no gimmicks.
Right.
And and I think they flat out pooped the bed on this one. Like
Yes.
it was not good. And
Hmm.
I didn't say black women. I said women.
Right.
This was the first women's match in WrestleMania history where it's one on one contest, and it was dry. It was dry. Yes, the last minute and a half was good, but it was it was all sizzle and no substance. To be honest with
Right. Well, the WWE purchased AAA, Wrestling Federation. AAA was like the one of the best wrestling federations out in what, like the mid '90s when Rey
you.
Mysterio was there. I catch some of it now. It's too much gimmicks. They do it whereas though it's almost like book like WCW was back in the day, whereas though like your top talent was mid card, and then the main
Hmm.
event is like they will like resort to like older people, and they're not just as good as they were anymore. That's just how AAA is kind of booked now. Uh, uh. Well, I like that. That's good because that can give our guys Andrade, because you ain't got you wanted to go leave you want to leave AEW and went to WWE so bad. You don't have a shot in there. You dead in the water. So this is good for him to be in Mexico, and he can actually be a champion there. Because you got no shot in WWE. I
Yeah,
hate to break it to him.
yeah. Well, the first thing they need to do is get that title off of Alberto El Patronos. Get that
Right,
title off him because he is Triple A's mega champion.
right.
Um, which and he's got a lot of problems himself. So
Yeah, yeah. His days are number also too, because it's WWE and they're not going to allow all that stuff.
no, absolutely not.
Mm.
But if you think about it, to in Mexico, you got CMLL, you got AAA. That's that's the big two in
Mm.
Mexican wrestling right now. Now, when you buy a organization like that, you're expected to do big things with it. Now, when WWF at the time bought WCW, they had a lot of these contracts that that WWE really couldn't get out of. I don't think that's going to be the case with AAA and stuff. I think they're gonna take those old contracts, mess around with them, and make it work for WWE's benefit. So,
Right, right,
but the
right.
first thing they need to do is get that belt, that mega belt, that off of Alberto El Patron.
Uh,
Like I said, he needs to vanish into to whatever place he needs to go.
Agreed, agreed. So we got El Grande Americano defeated Ray Phoenix. El Grande won with the headbutt off the was off the top rope, right? A loaded
Yeah,
with a loaded mask
yeah,
for the
yeah.
pinfall.
A loaded mask.
Yeah, I wrote down that it was too short, and I can't believe that they're jobbing. Oh, I forgot. This was supposed to be Rey Mysterio's match against El Grande, but he tore his groin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he tore his groin. So Ray Phoenix filled in. If that's the case, then that's a job on Ray Phoenix for somebody who they trying to build up. Why would you job him out this way? They should have just scrapped the match or did something else with it. I don't know.
Well,
But
I
we
understand
was
I understand why they did that match. It was more of a showcase match. You know, let's see what Ray Phoenix do on the big stage.
mhm.
Uh, let's see how he handles that, and which I think it was most impressive. But so you really can't judge a match like that with wins and losses. You can judge, how they do in the ring performance wise. And like I said, Ray Phoenix did his thing. Yes, Chad Gable, El Grande Americano, we all know. you know,
Mhm.
like I said, it was a good match. It told the story that it needed to tell. So
Right, right. I skipped one. United States Championship match. Jacob Fatu defeated LA Knight in 10 minutes and 38 seconds. Jacob won with a moonsault. I wrote down poor LA Knight. Fatu was awesome, but we already know that anyway.
yeah.
But I'm like, poor LA Knight. Boy, that guy will not get a significant push whatsoever. What were your thoughts on that match?
That was a great match, though. That
Yes.
was that was a great match. Like, when I first seen Jacob Fatu in WWE, and when I first seen Jacob Fatu in Major League Wrestling, like it looked more the same, like
Hmm.
except a slimmer version of him.
Yes.
Like the way Jacob Fatu reminds me of of Keith Lee when he was in NXT. There should be no way a big man can pull off moves the way he do.
Hmm.
You know what? I take that back. He reminds me a lot of Samoa Joe in his prime. Not to say that Samoa Joe, isn't still good. Now, when he was in his prime, he was fast. he can do stuff. He can, he can move the ring with ease with his size and stuff.
Right.
Nah, and like I said, I think LA Knight is going to get his push. He's going to get his push. I give it SummerSlam, between SummerSlam and Survivor Series.
Mm-hmm. All right, we got the WWE Women's Championship match. Tiffany Stratton defeated Charlotte Flair in 19 minutes and 10 seconds. Stratton won with the BME, best moonsault ever. I wrote down the crowd was dead for this one too, but they turned up at the end. Charlotte Flair gets a lot of shit for some unknown reason. Do you know? I think they wanted to make her a face, but when she walked out and did that interview, people was booing her, so they turned her a heel.
Yeah, which was an excellent move. That's how you call an audible right there, and which was the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you everybody saying that Tiffany Stratton was, what like I say, they believed in her,
Right.
and the fans are tired. I think the fans are tired of seeing Charlotte Flair win a championship. Like
Mm-hmm.
like the nepotism. The, she don't know she know what a grind is, but her character doesn't know what the grind is. And I think fans alike was like, man, tired of seeing her win, man. Let her struggle a little bit. So
Right.
uh, yeah. So I like how they called an audible for this uh for this program that they ran.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was good. Now the match itself, yeah, it was kind of stale.
Yeah.
But it did what it needed to do.
Yeah. Main event time. We got a triple threat match. Seth Rollins defeated Roman Reigns and CM Punk. Where Heyman gave Rollins a chair. When Reigns back turned, Rollins nailed her with the chair. Rollins fouled him with a curve stop for the pinfall win. It was kind of like a soap opera match. I wrote down, especially at the end where all the stuff was going on. It more told the story rather than the match itself. Uh, uh, it wasn't bad. Well, you got three guys that was in there that's really good. So the match wasn't bad, but it was just more the story format. So, what was your
Yeah.
thoughts on the match?
Nah, the story was real good. Let's see, you got three ego. It wasn't even about the match. It was about all four egos that
Right.
played a role into it. And you kind of seen a double cross coming. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't as predictable as I thought it would be. Like the double cross, it made sense though. It made all the sense in the world, and I was here for it. So
Right.
now the match itself was good. Like I said, it had drama, and you got to remember, pro wrestling is a male soap opera. You know,
Right.
you don't, like I said, yeah, it may be. It's like watching Days of Our Lives with you know closed fists and stone cold stunners.
Mm-hmm.
But it, like I said, it captured the imagination. It captured my imagination. On man, I can't wait to see what happens. I can't wait to see what happens Monday night. See how this evolves. And I'm
Right.
glad I did. Like I said, we'll talk about that as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Well, we got night two, WrestleMania 41. We got a triple threat match for the Women's World Championship. Io Sky defeated Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley to retain the Women's World Championship in 14 minutes and 28 seconds. Belair slipped out of a riptide and smacked Ripley with her hair braid. Belair had Ripley pinned, but Sky hit the moonsault to break up the pin and covered Belair for the win. They've used an EO Sky as like a third wheel, and they mainly focus on Belair and Ripley. First of all, is Bianca really injured, or is that storyline?
I think it's storyline.
Oh, okay.
I don't think she's injured.
Okay, well, other than that, great match. What was your thoughts on
It that for what it's worth, that should have been match of the night. That really should have been the main event of night one.
it? Right.
But like I said, that was a good match. That was that you could have put that on. You could if you put that in any other card, that was a main event match.
Right.
Bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, all three women did their thing. You know, you got the brute force of Rhea Ripley. You got athleticism of Bianca Belair, and you got the Lucha Libre style from Io Sky. I thought it was good.
Yeah, it was. Yep. Next match, we got the Sin City Street Fight. Drew McIntyre defeated Damian Priest in 13 minutes and 56 seconds. McIntyre placed Priest's head against the chair, and it was wedged between the ropes. McIntyre Claymore Priest's face into the chair for the win. I'm not really a fan of like street fights and weapons and all that stuff. But other than that, the match was fine for what it was. What was your thoughts?
To me, it was kind of dry,
Mm-hmm.
but it was. But I don't know. I don't know who produced this match, but I thought it was. I thought it was going to be like a war. It really wasn't a war. It was just two big men slapping meat, as Biggie liked to say.
Right.
But it was like I said, it to me it was dry. Like excuse me, you see one street fight, you done seen them all.
Yes.
I didn't. To me, I didn't think they brought nothing to the table.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Yeah.
The next match, we got a fatal four-way for the Intercontinental Championship. Dominic Mysterio defeated Finn Balor, Penta, and Braun Breaker. Balor hit Braun with a sling blade and dropkick and coup de grace, but Dom broke up and covered with a false splash on Balor. Dom hit Balor for the win. A good match. I'm glad that Dominic is kind of getting. Hopefully he become like a long-term champion and not this in between. But I'm kind of thinking that he's going to be an in between type of champion because it's going to be between well, the Finn might turn on Dominic. See, the people were saying that they were going to kick Finn Balor out and add in someone else. But I don't know. I don't know that. But Blind Breaker is probably going to be in a title hunt. Penta, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with Penta. But what was your thoughts on the match?
Nah, that was a good match. I think that match is probably the second best match of WrestleMania on both
Mm-hmm.
nights.
Mm-hmm.
Like I honestly didn't think that Dominic Mysterio had a snowball chance at hell.
Yeah.
In that match, but he's got that underdog mentality. Like here I am. So and I'm gonna do what I can to win this match. And like I said, it was good. It was really good. I honestly thought Penta was gonna win that match. I thought they were gonna put the strap on Penta, but I was wrong. But
Mm-hmm.
he was, like I said, they brought it. They brought it that night. So
Yep. Next match, we got Randy Orton defeated TNA World Championship Joe Henry in 3 minutes and 9 seconds. Orton won with the RKO. WrestleMania moment match. I didn't really make a comment or anything. What was your thoughts?
Oh man, as far as the match was concerned, it was a squash match,
Right.
but and a showcase match at the
Mm-hmm.
same time. Like you seen Joe Henry, in the Royal Rumble, and you seen Joe Henry now in WrestleMania. You you he's on the up and coming. He's going to
Yes.
I think he's going to be I think he's trying to I think they're wanting to push him as they did Jordan Grace. You
Mm-hmm.
know, bring him up to from TNA to NXT to WWE, which he should. He's very entertaining.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Randy
Next.
Orton is Randy Orton, so bottom
Right.
line.
Exactly. Next match, we got Logan Paul defeated AJ Styles in 17 minutes and 44 seconds. Paul ducked a phenomenal forearm and hit his big punch. Paul followed with a pulverizer for the pinfall win. A good match. It's kind of odd with Logan Paul because he was kind of like an in betweener in this WrestleMania. He was kind of like
Hmm.
in between. Like they really didn't really do much with him. What was your thoughts on this match?
Nah, you know what? If I said it once, I'll say it again. Logan Paul is a student of the game. He knows. You would think that he been wrestling for 25 years, which
Right,
he's on. It was only been what 3, 4, 5 years.
right.
He looks like a cosplay professional. Like the only problem I have with Logan Paul is just the simple fact that he got all this other stuff going on, which he should. Like I said, YouTube bigger star, owner of a drink. I I I I understand what I understand. Paul is a viral moment, always waiting to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But this man can flat out go.
Yep.
I'm I might have to call him the Floyd Mayweather of pro wrestling. Be honest with you.
Right.
Uh, yeah. And the
Yeah.
reason I say the reason I say that is because you know he's he's got a style. He's got a style where he can do all these cool moves and stuff, and he's facing experienced fighters, and he can still pull out a victory with the best
Mm-hmm.
of them.
Yep.
So, like I said, everybody keep like I said, everybody stay mad at Logan Paul. Not being not being a true wrestler, but
And
the man,
practicing
yeah,
the matches. Yeah.
yeah. Like I said, he's a student. He knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
I wish other people would get that through their skull. He's the truth.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Next up, we got the Women Tag Team Championship match. We have Becky Lynch and Laura Valkyrie defeated Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez when Liz hit Morgan with the manhandle slam. First of all, is Bailey? Is she really hurt or?
No storyline.
Oh, okay. So that was supposed to be where Becky Lynch part was. It's supposed to be Bailey, but Becky Lynch took her place, and they won the tag team championship. So, what was your thoughts on? I'm laughing because we already know how this ended up. But what was your thoughts on this match?
Nah, the match was decent. like I said, Becky Lynch looked like she didn't miss a step, and she went out there, and did her thing. Like, what is it? I Liv Morgan, she it's weird. Is weird for me to like, I don't know. She, it's like she's part Trish Stratus and part Sunny.
Yes.
You don't know you really don't know what to make of her.
Mm-hmm.
Is she good? Is she she's a decent wrestler, but at the same time, she's I don't want to say Sunny. She reminds me of she reminds me of another diva. I can't that it, I don't know. But the match was good though. The
Yeah.
match was good. Like I
Mm-hmm.
said, I enjoyed it. Yeah, I'll laugh too about what happens after that. But go ahead.
Right. Well, at this point, Stone Cold Steve Austin crashed his ATV. I thought he was faking around at first.
Nah, boy, I seen it. Boy, I was like,
uh,
someone about to pay some money, get some money off that.
yeah, because you see how the lady had fell down when
Yeah, yeah. Someone about to get some nice memorabilia. Hey,
uh
ma'am, I'll give you my ATV. If you don't sell, we'll get you some Stone Cold merch.
yeah. Main event time for the undisputed WWE Championship. John Cena defeated Cody Rhodes to win in 25 minutes and 5 seconds. Cena tried using the title belt as a weapon, but Rhodes yanked it away from him. Rhodes threatened to use it as Cena backed off. Rhodes fell for it because Cena kicked him kicked him low. Cena clocked Rhodes with the title belt and a rough roll back in the ring, and Cena pinned Rhodes for the win. So Cena is the 17-time World Championship. I wrote down this match was disappointing, and I wrote down, is it me or does people seem to start not liking Cody Rhodes? What was your thoughts on the match?
Okay, let's start from the beginning. Let's start with John Cena's entrance. No video package, no special
Mm-hmm.
pyro, just all black and pretty much main screen black, words white, walking down the ring. Like I said, people hate the fact that John Cena didn't get a they didn't John Cena didn't want to elaborate interest music.
Right.
I thought it was good. To be a heel, you don't need special gear. You don't need special gear. You don't need special interest. You just need to be you, just a dick.
Mm-hmm.
you you don't like I said, you don't have to change up. You don't really have to change up who you are. You don't even have to change your personality. You don't have to give the people what they want. You can give the people what they want by not giving the people what they want, which John Cena, like I said, spot on. Now, as far as Cody Rhodes is concerned, like I said, I'm not even gonna lie, I'm a Cody Rhodes fan.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I don't know why they would hate him. I think because I guess he's the new John Cena,
Right.
which I guess if you think about it, it makes sense. Um, to and you win 17 titles. Uh, you surpass Ric Flair, and I say thank God. I say thank God. That happened. Now you're gonna have these lame asses, the IWC, get mad and whatnot about John Cena and oh my God, he's the 17 world champion. Yeah, The internet wrestling community is a bunch of trolls and robots that wish they were bookers. I I wouldn't have let him win the championship like that.
Mm-hmm.
Who like to me? Who cares? Who cares what the IWC thinks? Who cares? How they would book a match. Like I book matches. I probably would, and I booked matches before. I probably would have done something like that too. If I was in the shoes of the higher ups.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we want John Cena to be the 17-time world champion. We want him to surpass the great Ric Flair. That should, and it worked out good. I love heel John Cena. I love this version of John Cena.
Right.
Like, um, now I know there's a bigger game afoot where eventually, somewhere down the line, Cody Rhodes is going to win back the WWE Championship. I'm all
Mm-hmm.
for that.
Mm-hmm.
But as of right now, I love the fact that John Cena is a 17-time world heavyweight champion.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And as you mentioned, the internet community, they love to talk. They love to do this AEW versus WWE, and WWE is so good, and they doing so much better in AEW and everything. Oh, and they always talk about the ratings or something like they got skin in the game and everything.
oh my God.
Yeah.
You know what though? Just, you know what though? Stop. I hope people from the internet listen to this podcast. Stop trying to be bookers. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're talking about. Be a
Mhm.
fan.
Exactly.
Be a fan. Quit going off. Quit trying to pit all elite wrestling with World Wrestling Entertainment. Stop it,
Right.
because be a fan. That guy, Dana one, y'all. These people make me sick. Like,
Oh, and his ratings dropped, and Jim Cornette is good at that too. It's nothing that AEW is do good in, and he really never really badmouths WWE that much. He'll badmouth the women, but he won't really
yeah,
badmouth the men as much. And Conan, oh my goodness, Conan is like the worst at that. And Conan, that's like one of my favorite podcasts to listen to.
yeah,
And
boy,
well, we see now why was he so pro in that, because he's going to wind up working for him or working
pretty
with him. I
much,
don't know what you want to call it. Yeah,
pretty much.
and one time one of the guys was on there, and he had asked him, did he watch AEW? And the guy said, no, I don't watch that. And Conan said, well, that's good because you ain't missing much. I'm saying to myself, what the hell? You got to be kidding me.
Well, there you go. He had a stake in. He had a stake in that somewhere.
Yep.
And sure enough, that's what it was.
Exit. Yep. That's what it
Now,
was.
now, like I said, uh, Jim Cornette, Jim Cornette, and Conan, they'll probably be the only exceptions that I will listen to.
Hmm.
But
Is it because they were bookers or
yes,
okay?
yes, yes. But like I said, I don't really dwell on uh the numbers of the ratings.
Hmm.
You leave that stupid shit to Dave Meltzer. Yes, yes. Like I said, you give out your 5 star, 6 star ratings, blase and stuff. But let's be honest. You never booked a match. You probably never will. You
Hmm.
know, get off your high horse. Like it's you know you got Dave LaGreca. you got Dave McGregor from Busted Open. Now he's a minor exception because he's
Is
got
that the guy with the gray hair and the glasses?
yeah,
Oh, okay, all right.
yeah. Now if you heard that rant that he pulled off,
Yes.
I think that was kind of out of pocket
Hmm.
personally. But at the same time it's very true. But like I said, people from I don't know the internet wrestling communities, keyboard warriors, these Twitter fingers and whatnot. Y'all, man, go to a show. Just don't go to a WWE show, go to a TNA show, AEW show, go to an independent show.
Right.
Like I said, go, yeah, you know, just look at just y'all need to stop. Y'all need to get up off y'all behinds and get out off the computers and stuff and watch a real show.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm sorry. I was like, no, it's just it's people like the IWC just makes me mad. You know,
Mm-hmm.
want to be bookers, and they think they know what's best for they think they know what's best for the wrestling world when they don't have a clue.
All right, so we go on to Raw. T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, Nevada. It starts off with a John Cena segment where he badmouthed the fans and said he has 27 dates left. Randy Orton came to the ring and hit Cena with an RKO. The only thing I wrote down is these segments are very long. These John Cena
Yeah.
segments is very long. That's the only thing I wrote. I didn't see anything bad about it. Did you want to comment?
Well, the thing about it is you got to take up some type of filler time because Netflix don't do commercials.
Right. Hmm.
Like I said, yeah, they said they'll be back in such and such a minutes, but they just really show advertisement for the next Netflix show or
Yeah.
the next live Netflix show.
Hmm.
No, but like I said, I didn't have a problem with the promo. You know,
Right. Hmm. So next up, we got a women's tag team championship match. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defeated Becky Lynch and Laura Brockery to win the titles after their one-day reign in 11 minutes and 57 seconds. With Valkyrie knocked Rodriguez off the apron, and Morgan caught her with the Oblivion for the pinfall win. Lynch turned on Valkyrie after a match. She hugged her and dropping her with a clothesline. Lynch was livid at Valkyrie and attacked her a second time. Valkyrie was so shocked she didn't even defend herself. Lynch returned to the ring and dropped her with another consecutive manhandle slams. The crowd chanted one more time, and Lynch did it again. That was a good one. That was a good angle at the end of the match. What was your thoughts?
I like I said, I understand. I understand that. I understand the heel turn. I
Right.
understand the one. I understand the 1 day ring. I get it. I'm not mad about it at all.
Right, because that was Bailey's spot.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, do I honestly see there might be a version of the women four horsemen? I hope so.
Hmm.
I hope so. Minus Mercedes Monet. I hope there's a version of that coming soon. So I don't know. I mean, I'm interested what Monday is going to look like. So
Right. So New Day was backstage and stopped for a moment and seen Karen Cross. During a break, Chad Gable entered with American Made. He said that Rey Mysterio faked his injury and put over El Grande Americano. A New Day entered. Xavier Woods told us to get on our knees and thank God for the New Day. Kofi Kingston said there is no team alive or dead who are better than them. The Alpha Academy interrupted, and I just went way too far. Hold on. Uh,
mm,
where am
we
I
had
at?
a return.
Right. Uh, Alpha Academy interrupted. Maxine Dupree reminded us that Alpha Academy beat the New Day in 60 seconds the last time they wrestled. She told the New Day to put the titles on the line tonight. Woods said no. Dupree asked if the Minutemen were scared, and that was enough to convince the New Day, and Kingston accepted. The referee came out, but the lights went out. Now Rusev came in, and New Day left. Rusev hit the ring and laid out Otis and Tozawa. Otis tried firing up, but Rusev dropped him with a thrust kick and put him in the accolade. Now, what was your thoughts on this angle?
Oh, it was real. For Rusev to be back, you know, I think that was a smart move. Like he had no. Yes, he was a TNT champion as Miro in AEW, but it seemed stale. If you be honest with you, it seemed a tad bit stale. Like it really didn't hit on nothing. Yeah, I like Rusev being back in WWE. I'm interested to see how far that this train goes.
Right. And I hope they don't link him with the New Day or American Made, because that's kind of like mid card purgatory.
Yeah. Nah, I think Alpha Academy.
Yeah, I said American Academy, Alpha Academy.
Yeah. I think Alpha Academy. That's jobber territory.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to do that to him. They're going to give him the push that he deserves.
So we got an Io Sky segment. Stephanie Valkyrie entered the ring and said, "Let's have a match." So it became a 9-title match where we ended up in a disqualification because Roxanne Perez punched Sky, and Greta entered the ring to attack Valkyrie. Rhea Ripley ran out, made a save, and saved everyone. What was your thoughts on this match?
Like, it was a good match. To be quite honest with you, for a showcase match that to go like that, it was really good. Seeing, two wrestlers in there, have I love how their styles clashed well with each other. It was almost like the perfect mix. So in the boxing world, style make fights, and that's the same way in pro wrestling. Style make fight. I mean, different style make good fights and stuff. So I was impressed.
Right.
I'm kind of glad that it went off as a no D. I mean, it went off as a DQ.
Right.
I really didn't want to see a clear winner. Kind of leave the brain thinking, what's going to happen next. So.
Exactly. Especially because both of them have belts, and one or the other can't really do the job because that would like crap on the belt that they have.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right. Next up, we have Jey Uso celebration with Sami Zayn. AJ Styles and Karrion Kross had a backstage segment, a Gunther segment where he put Cole in the sleeper. McAfee hit Gunner with a forearm to like break it up, but the officials ran down. McAfee turned his back, so Gunner put him in the sleeper. And after that was like in the segment where they both walked away. McAfee never came back, but Cole came back, and Joe Tessitore took McAfee's spot. Good angle here. What was your thoughts on that?
All right. Well, look. Okay. Let's take a step back real quick. Let's take a small step back. Did you see the promo that Karrion Kross did? I guess the day after WrestleMania.
Yes.
Oh my God. That was like that to me. That was that was probably one of the best shoot promos I've heard. Like,
Right.
and you can tell when I can tell when it was when the line was blurred and stuff, um which the line blurred from you know fantasy to reality,
Mm-hmm.
and I think this is going to be the promo for Karrion Cross, to get out of that purgatory spot where you know, he can actually get matches done and
Right.
stuff. So that, like I said, that was one of the best promos I've heard anyone in a long time. Now, as far as the Gunter segment is concerned, I mean, they could have went without that. Like it would, they could have went without that. Uh,
Agreed. Agreed.
yeah, like I said, but, it's pretty much a I don't know, a whining child that got his favorite toy taken away from
Right.
him. But nah, yeah, they could have went without that.
Mm-hmm. So next up, we got the Intercontinental Championship match. Dominic Mysterio defeated Penta in 8 minutes and 1 second as Carlito distracted the referee. JD McDonough shoved Penta off the top rope. Dom hit Penta with a 6-9-1-9 and a frog splash for the pinfall win. I don't know why they job Penta like this. That was the only thing I wrote down. You could have just got anybody else for that spot, but why pick him?
Nah, that I don't know. Um, I was kind of dumbfounded that it was Penta, and I I I probably would have been upset if I probably would have been more upset if Penta won that title and they gave Dom a one day title reign like they did the tag team title. That's what I was kind of expecting, but I'm glad they did. You said that you hope that you hope Dominic Mysterio is going to be a long term champion.
Yes.
I believe he will.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he will. Only for the simple fact that they're trying to play into this, Eddie Guerrero persona of lie, cheating, stealing,
Right.
you know, uh, matches to keep the championship. So, I'm curious to see how this goes. Now, as far as Penta is concerned, like why they used him as, I guess because he wasn't the one that got pinned.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but like I said, for me though, that was a good match. It kept my eyes glued.
Right. So Raw ended with a Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman segment. CM Punk came in the ring and grabbed Heyman, but Rollins attacked Punk from behind. Uh, Roman Reigns showed up, and Roman Reigns was about to spear Paul Heyman, but Braun Breaker suddenly spared Reigns, and now Braun Breaker is with Paul Heyman. I'm paraphrasing all this stuff because it was more stuff that was going on in that
Yeah,
segment. But what was your thoughts of the segment?
man. I'm glad they put Braun Breaker with Paul Heyman
Okay.
because yeah, not for. I don't think Braun Breaker can talk. I don't think he cuts good promos, but that's every bit of his uncle.
He
you know,
sound you're actually right. He sounds just like him. It's almost like they like Scott Steiner taught him to talk that way.
yeah, yeah. So I'm glad they got a mouthpiece.
Mm,
You know what though? I hope, and I hope they don't do him like I hope they don't do Braun Breaker like they did um Mr. Perfect Son back in the day.
mm-hmm.
Because that gimmick was stupid. That gimmick was trash.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, they need to take the microphone out of Braun Breaker's hand and put it on Paul Heyman. And here we go again with this IWC thing, trying to make it to be the new evolution of pro wrestling. Stop that. Stop that. Just knock that off. There's not gonna be no new evolution. Y'all need to knock that shit off. Like
right. So go ahead.
Yeah, it's gonna be a stable. I get that. It's probably gonna be 3 or 4 man stable.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not gonna be evolution. I think it's gonna be much. It's just not going to be evolution. You're not. There's no Batista. There's no Triple H. Let's knock it off, people.
Right. All right. NXT time. NXT at Blue Live Theater. We got the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defeated Gigi Dolan and Tam Paxi in 11 minutes and 30 seconds, with Liv pinned Dolan with the Oblivion. It was okay match. What was your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with you. It was an okay match. Like I said, Liv and Raquel are who they are, and Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley, I think they're going to be a good tag team either way.
Yes.
Either on NXT, TNA, or the main roster.
Mm-hmm.
But they're gonna. I hate to say it, but I think they're going. to underutilize them too and job them out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Next up, we got Penn and Teller and Lexis King spot, where Penn and Teller did their magic and Lexis King got his hair cut back. Makes me think that they're going to get rid of that thing for some reason. I have no idea why. But because, when he wrestles, they don't do the round thing. And that was the best thing about the Heritage Cup, is they did that old European round matches. So we got North American champ Ricky Saints in the ring. Lexis King interrupts them, and they talked about having a match next week. So now we got a Heritage Cup match where returning Noam Dar, as we mentioned earlier, defeated Lexis King to win the title in 4 minutes and 3 seconds. Since he wins, does they go back to the round format? He's European.
I hope so. I hope so. I agree with you. That was the best thing about the Heritage Cup. Now you're just basically I don't know, making a mockery out of the lineage of the Heritage Cup. So
right.
Yeah, they either get rid of it or go back to the old style or what it used to be.
Right. We got Thea Hale defeated Phelan Henley in 2 minutes and 25 seconds squash match. It was really too short to even get a rating on. Do you want to rate it or?
Nope.
We got Oba February in the ring said he did exactly what he promised he would do at Stand and Deliver. Trick showed up and said he wants the title back. TNA champion Joe Henry comes in the ring. Henry and Finley beats up Trick and throws him out of the ring. Henry and Finley have a stare down. So I guess that's probably going to be the next main event on their next PLE. I was going to say pay-per-view, but PLE. Or they say they'll do it on a TV match. I would save that to a PLE. Whatever the next one is, I don't know. What is your thoughts on that?
I think the next PLE is Battleground in late May. So I honestly I don't know what they're gonna do, to be honest with you. They can't do another triple threat match so soon. So I can only assume that it's going to be a tag team match. But you're gonna need a fourth person for that. And to be honest with you, I don't know who is gonna be. Like I said, you're gonna have Obafemi and Joe Henry versus Trick Williams versus someone. You're gonna need someone that's gonna crash out like Trick Williams been crashing out. So I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, like I said, I will keep the title on Obafemi right now a little bit longer.
Yes.
So and you know what though? I don't think this. I don't. People saying that Trick Williams is turning heel. I don't think it's turning heel. I just think it's him crashing out. So
Yeah, I don't get in a heel likeness from him.
no, yeah.
So
I
next
think.
up, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Next up, we got a skit with Stack and Lucia. I didn't even pay attention to that. Do you want to tell us what that was about? I know it was about she was saying that she was bullied and they protected her and all that stuff, so she was loyal or whatever. The way they talk and all that stuff, it sounds like a cartoon character, and I don't really like it. I kind of like zone out when they speak. But do you want to say anything about it?
Not really, only because to me it is so cliche. I think it was like that. It would y'all meet me at this location, and to be quite honest with you, it feels like to me it took all it takes from a I don't know an element of Casino. Have you seen that movie?
Yes.
But yeah, that's why I feel like it's coming from. I don't know. I have to wait. I have to wait for it to develop.
Right. We got Dion Lennox and Osiris Griffin. Dark State defeated Miles Bourne and Javon Evans in 9 minutes and 57 seconds. Lennox and Osiris won with a double powerbomb spot on Bourne. Well, we already know that Bourne was going to do the job in this match. And this tag team with Bourne and Javon just came out of nowhere, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Yeah. It all happened with a backstage segment. So
Yeah. They could have found somebody else for that spot. But what was your thoughts on the match?
I mean, it was a solid match. It was good. Styles make a good. Different styles make good fights.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good. It was pretty good and stuff. So like I said, I got nothing bad to say. I got nothing bad to say about that match.
Right.
Yeah, and like I said, Javon Evans, like I said, North Carolina native through and through. It was a good match.
This is why I say that Dark State is going to be tag team champions. I don't know how if it's these two or the other ones. I don't know. One of the others are going to be tag team champions
I
because
hope so.
Yeah, because they're getting a push. They're getting a little push, and the crowd reacts to them. So yeah, I think so. The Angel Family segment, I wasn't interested. Do you want to talk about that segment?
No.
we got the NXT Championship match. Stephanie Vicura defeated Roxanne Perez in 11 minutes 30 seconds. Vicura pinned Perez clean with the STP finisher. I wrote down this must be Perez's last match in NXT because what else is she going to do there?
There's nothing else she can do.
Right.
She's pretty much. Unless, if I'm not mistaken, she's won every women's champ. No, she hasn't won the North American Championship. I don't think she's going for it. She's going up to the main roster.
Mm-hmm.
Either by a sign or the draft.
Right. So, when is the draft? That's in September, right?
I think so.
Yeah, because I think it's around where new television season. I think that's when they do the draft. Yeah. So next up we got I was about to say NXT, AEW Dynamite. Well, your favorite rapper, Master P, introduced the AEW Trios champions, the Ops. Moxie
man,
Cruz
go ahead with that, man.
Moxie crew shows up. The Young Bucks and Okada hit the ring with chairs to save Moxie. Swerve Strickland hits the ring, and the Elite bail out the aisle. But Kenny Omega music hit, and Elites are scurrying through the crowd. Omega, Strickland, and the Ops in the ring together. Master P didn't do anything. Well, he did punches to. Was that Moxie? He was punching in the
stomach.
Yeah.
The little soft behind punches.
Right. Yeah, he didn't really do much.
Man, we know a fake punch when we see one. We ain't stupid.
Right. Yeah. Anything else about the segment?
No, I mean, like I said, you talking about my favorite rapper. You talking about my favorite. You really disrespecting me right now.
Yeah.
No, like I said, man, it was just a celebration. So there's nothing I can really say about that. And like this whole John Moxley thing, this whole Death Riders thing is kind of long winded. So now I ain't got nothing to say about it.
I think it's going to come to an end soon, because you're not the first person that say that. A lot of people are tired of it, and he has the belt, and the belt is in a bag, in a briefcase, and you don't see the belt and all that type of stuff. So I think that it's going to come to an end soon. Hopefully, it'll come to the end with Swerve Strickland.
Yeah, let's hope so. But I think whoever wins the Owen Cup wins the title.
Right. Next up, we got Mark Briscoe defeated Ricochet in 14 minutes and 10 seconds. Well, Briscoe won with a roll up. That kind of shocked me, that because Mark Briscoe normally does jobs for people.
Yeah.
It kind of shocked me that he got a win here. What was your thoughts on the match?
Solid match. Like I said, I like Mark Briscoe. Like I say, he kind of reminds me of my mentor in the wrestling business. Shout out to Muscle Shoals. Like he reminds me a lot of him. Like I say, he for a big solid man, he gets up and he does good things. He's knowledgeable in the ring. So yeah. So no, I thought it was a good match though.
Right. Yeah, it was a good match. So we got FTR returns from his suspension with Stokely Hathaway. They attacked the Rock and Roll Express. Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly hit the ring for the save. What was your thoughts on this segment?
Man, I love heel FTR. Like I said, I love. I don't know about what a spike. What I like about a spike pound driver. I mean, yeah, it's a really protective move, but when they do it, it looks crisp all the time. It looked like they really did damage to someone's neck.
Right.
Like I said, I love the fact that Stokely Hathaway is, the agent for FTR. Like I said, Cash and Dax don't need to talk; they just need to fight.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Which they've been doing too much of. So
hopefully that FTR have a long heel reign, and hopefully Stokely stays around them too. By the way, like you said.
Yeah.
Next up, we got the Young Bucks defeated Speedball Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight in 15 minutes, where the Bucks hit the EV trigger on Knight. I wrote down my notes. I'm glad that Kevin Knight is getting all this. He's been on TV a lot too. It's good that he's getting all this notoriety, because he was awesome in New Japan. What was your thoughts on it? And Speedball Mike Bailey, of course, is good. But what was your thoughts on this match?
Man, honestly, I'm gonna say something about Mike Bailey. I honestly thought he was going to sign with WWE. I think he would have been good as a sports entertainer. But that's right now. That's neither here nor there. Nah, it was a really solid match. Like I said, I'm glad Kevin Knight is showcasing um his true talent and stuff. You got a kid from Atlanta doing. You got to Atlanta is a hotbed for wrestling as
Hmm.
much as it is North Carolina. So you know, it takes special work to be notarized in from Georgia and stuff. So I give him all props to the world. Like I say, he's doing this thing right now.
Right. Hmm. We got a timeless Tony Storm segment and set up a match with Queen Amada. How do you pronounce her last name? Queen.
Queen of Empanada. I don't get. I don't know. I don't know
Well,
how to say.
they set up a match.
Mhm.
We got the Hurt Syndicate with MVP. The Syndicate still haven't accepted him. He gave Lachey a car and still didn't accept him, and he was pissed about it. So we have a Hangman Page segment. MJF shows up with that. Next up, we have Tateska. Josh Alexander defeated Will Ospreay and Brody King in 12 minutes and 25 seconds, where Alexander hit King with the C4. Good match there, too. What was your thoughts on this?
Nah, it was a real solid match too.
Right.
Like I said, okay. Let's let for the sake of argument's sake, um, you got great storytelling, great storytelling in WWE, but you have great wrestling in AEW,
Yes.
and so like I said, and like I said, you can tell a great story. WWE is telling great stories right now, but WrestleMania is not didn't really hit like I thought it would. But but they're putting on, on AEW you're putting on great matches, but
Mm-hmm.
the storyline is really not making sense to me right now.
Right.
So, but the match itself was really good.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Main event, we got Jamie Hayner defeated Chris Statlander to advance to the finals of the Owen Hart Foundation tournament, where Hayner won with the Haterade. Solid match, solid stiff match too by the two. I think this is like their second time working together, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, that was a good match there. What was your thoughts?
Like I said, man, but they was giving it to each other, man.
Yep.
They were beating the absolute hell out of each other in that match. I seen
Mm-hmm.
there was this one spot where what Tony Storm did um what she do a moonsault or a shooting star press from the apron and missed and hit the floor. I thought that was
Yes.
good.
Yes,
I
I know
thought
what's
I,
up. Mm-hmm.
I thought that was good. I thought that was a good spot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was. But nah, like I said, man, you gotta appreciate good wrestling. That to me was good wrestling.
Yep. Hmm. So we got the final set in on Hart on the women's side. So next up is last night's WWE SmackDown. And before we get to that, Nia Jax, is that real? Did she have some type of heat?
I don't know. I didn't hear nothing about it.
Something about she was had some heat with I forget who it was. Well, I know Jay Cargill had heat. Jay Cargill had heat was about to get in a fight with uh let me see if I can find it. It's probably squashed by now, but I know she had heat with somebody. Hold on. All right, this was in March. Oh, it was Shayna Blazer. That I guess she said something to Shayna Blazer, and Shayna Blazer wanted to fight her. And
I don't know.
WWE management came in between, And after that, when the last time has Blazer been on television?
The last time I seen her anything that sniffed television was WWE Speed. That's about it.
Oh shit, maybe it's true. Let me see if I can find.
I know she did a blood sport match, a GCW blood sport match, but there was a lot of them that did blood sport. So I don't know.
Well, they're saying here is no heat. She had a medical absence, which is why she wasn't been on TV in a while and wasn't at WrestleMania.
I mean, that makes sense.
Hmm.
Yeah, but like I said, I would see Nia Jax on TikTok doing stuff with Shayna Baszler all the time. So I don't understand. Yeah, I don't see where they would have a heat with each other.
Right.
But then again, like I said, it's this IWC mess that I'm gonna keep harping on and stuff. You know, making up rumors and whatnot.
Hmm. So we got WWE SmackDown at the Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, Texas. We got a John Cena Randy Orton segment. John Cena did the same interview he did on Monday, where he trashed the fans. A long segment too, by the way, because that had to be around about 27, 28 minutes. Randy
Yeah,
Randy Orton came to the ring. They had they talk, and Randy Orton hit him with an RKO. What was your thoughts on the segment?
it was the same thing as it was Monday night. It was a
Yep.
solid. It was a solid promo, just a little long winded. But
Hmm.
it was. I mean, like I said, But you know what though is, and they set up the match for Backlash in St. Louis, which is Randy Orton's hometown. Which I think and that's going to be weird to see if you think about it. Um, think of it like I don't know. You ever played DC Injustice?
No.
Okay, do you know the premise of it? DC
Yeah.
Injustice.
No.
Well, okay, you know, Superman is actually the bad guy in this,
Hmm.
and like I said, Superman right now, John Cena is super bad, and he is he is going to war. He is going to war with Joker.
Hmm.
Well, not Joker, but Batman. And like I said, Randy Orton would be the baby face in this situation, as which all 8,000 other times that's not the case.
Right.
It was always Randy Orton being the heel to John Cena's babyface. Now these roles are reversed, and like I said, I'm interested to see what happens with this.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so
And I hope they don't. This is well. He don't have many dates left, but I hope that they don't just like he got the title. They're gonna quickly get it off of him. That
nah,
sort of thing.
nah. See, I honestly thought if he didn't win in WrestleMania, that he would do it around his last couple of dates, and retire as champion.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah,
but I'm glad they're doing it like this though.
yeah, that's how it should be done. What you just said.
Yeah,
Yeah. Hmm. Next up, we have Frankstrom of Nathan Frazier and Axum defeated Lars Garza in 8 minutes and 25 seconds, with Frazier pinned Angel with his Phoenix Splash. A good debut. This is their debut on the main roster, right?
yeah.
Yeah, good debut. Garza's is a good team. I'm glad that they actually did buy AAA because these guys would be great to be on main events on in AAA because they need the notoriety. Go ahead.
Like I said, they are a product of AAA, so it's almost like they're going back home. They'll be
Yes.
going back home, which you know, which I'm like you said, I'm excited for too. So
Right. Next up, we have a Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill segment to set up a match. It went to a no contest in 10 minutes and 12 seconds, where Naomi came to the ring and attacked Jade that stopped the match, and Nia Jax attacked Stratton. Here's the thing: is Naomi a face or a heel?
Naomi's a heel.
Okay, but some because Jay Cargill gives that halfway like heel face,
Yeah, I
but
think that's
how
just the way she looks.
right and so
I think she just gives off. I think she just gives off RBF energy. So
right. So next up, we have a Jacob Fatu, LA Knight, and Drew McIntyre segment. First of all, it started off with Solo saying that he did everything for Jacob Fatu, and Jacob said that no, it was him. LA Knight showed up, and then Drew McIntyre showed up. So next up, we got the WWE United States Women's Championship match. Selena Vega defeated Chelsea Green to win the title in 7 minutes and 15 seconds. Vega won with the code red. What was your thoughts of the match?
it was a good match. It was a good
Mm,
match, and Selena Vega, to me, she earned a singles run like this for a long time. Um, I'm glad that WWE created the women's United States Championship and the women's Intercontinental Championship. I think, yeah, you know, and these titles would be perfect for people like Zelina Vega, Chelsea Green, so on and stuff. So I'm glad to see that worked out for her.
right. Uh-huh. Uh, Next up, we have the Miz and out the return Aleister Black segment. I just wrote down. I sure hope they don't put Black along with the Miz.
Well, yeah, I hope they probably will the way that's been set up and stuff. Like, yeah, I I, I guess Alistair Black needs a good punching bag, to re-showcase his talent, like Rusev did to Alpha Academy. So I
Right.
get it.
Hmm. Then we had the interview with Bianca Belair said she was injured. She broke a couple of fingers, but you said as a work, it's not really she's not really hurt. Next up, Naomi was walking backstage and ran into Jax, and she told Naomi to stay out of her way when it comes to Tiffany and Tiffany's title. Next up, we got Drew McIntyre defeated LA Knight via DQ in 9 minutes and 25 seconds, where Solo attacked Knight and Fatu had came in and they all had a brawl, whatever. What was your thoughts on this match?
Oh my God, I'm really not a Drew McIntyre fan. I mean, like I said, I like his work, but I don't like. It's hard to explain about Drew McIntyre. I like what he do in the ring, but I don't like how he's supposed to be this fighter when he always find a back door to win in a match. So nah,
Agreed.
but the match was pretty good though. So
Hmm. TLC main event time. TLC match for the WWE Tag Team Championships. Street Profits defeated DIY and Motor City Machine Guns to retain in 22 minutes and 52 seconds. I kind of zoned out. There's a lot of stuff that I don't like. What was the spot where Dawkins was on a ladder, and was it Champa that was hanging hanging on a would you call it a rope or a chain? Hanging on a chain, and he
yeah,
tackled him onto the chair on the table.
y-
That
yeah,
was Champa, right?
That was him.
Now, did you see how long that he was hanging? He was hanging there when he could have just ripped the belt, ripped the belt off. He could have put his hands on the chain and took the belt where the thing that the belt was hanging on. He could have just took that off and they would just won the match. And he just sat
Yeah,
there for the longest time. See, this is why I don't like ladder matches. Because you just standing there for that one spot, and he's like twisting it. First, the Motor City Machines was like holding him, so he won't spin around. So I'm thinking somebody said, don't hold him. So they let him go, and he's still like spinning around while Dawkins just sitting there, just waiting for him to come around so he can try to tackle him on and fall on the table. So, what is your thoughts on the match?
like I said, these things don't make sense, and I get your frustrations about that. These things don't make sense, but but the thing why I love and hate this match, because this was the match that should have been on WrestleMania, not the
Yes.
other tag team match. That tag team championship match could have waited to the um Raw after Mania.
Yes.
Not as far as I can tell, I thought that was a solid match. Yeah,
Hmm.
like I said, that spot was kind of, I don't know. That was kind of, I would say, cartoonish, but I can forgive that.
Hmm.
So
Every time from now on, every time when I see the Street Profits, I'm going to think about Cameron.
yeah, that should. But you know what? Though he's absolutely right.
Yep.
That that was a WrestleMania match, and
Hmm.
I think they were honestly robbed. All
Right.
all three teams was honestly robbed of that.
Yep. Sure did. Now, you had mentioned WWE involved, and the positives about WWE involved is I like how they have these are like world class athletes. So you're not going to see really bad matches. Everything is pretty much solid.
Hmm.
The negative is, and I just don't understand why do they keep staying in the performance center. What's wrong with these young people going off to Wilmington, North Carolina, Topeka, Kansas, Mississippi, South Carolina? What's wrong with going to like little like gymnasiums or little auditoriums for this show and
Well,
filming it? And have
well,
somebody like, okay, Evolve is coming to Wilmington, North Carolina. Have somebody like have somebody that can talk. Uh, the first person I'm thinking about is like Titus O'Neil, and have somebody that's like on television but not really getting pushed. Who's on television and not getting really pushed? Uh, is U-Haul Nation? What's his name in
oh, Apollo Crews.
Okay, Apollo Crews. Okay, Apollo Crews is on the card. And I guess you may pick a woman that's on TV and not what's her face? Natalia.
Yeah.
Okay, what's wrong with them two coming to Wilmington, North Carolina with the Evolve wrestlers? Would you go?
I would definitely go. I
Right.
would definitely go. Like, let's see them at Keenan Auditorium or Trash Coliseum,
Right.
or you
Or
know,
New Brunswick Community College. They have a gymnasium there, right?
yes, they do.
Oh, okay. They
Yes, they
can go
do.
and go there and they can film it. The way you get, well, you can explain this more than I can, but the way you get more experience is when you're going to different places. Standing in the same place is not going to really teach you anything. But going around and see how people react, because somebody in Kansas will react differently to someone in Mississippi.
Here's the thing about that, though, and here's the thing about that, where No, where I see where you're coming from. How can I explain this? As far as contracts are concerned, they can still just about every wrestler on that thing can still work different territories. Um, what's his name from Greensboro? Uh, Drake Jackson.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's part of that. Yeah, he's part of WWE Evolve, but He's still working matches in different parts of the Carolinas.
Mhm.
It's he like I said, all these different wrestlers, all these different wrestlers can go like everywhere else. Look at the tag team Swipe Right. I think they belong uh in the northeastern part of wrestling.
Uh,
Cali
uh,
Ray.
oh, so these are not these
That
are just
that
I thought these were just WWE talent. I didn't know they
no.
was going
Mm-mm.
on. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
I'm sorry
yeah,
then.
no, they're still like I said, they're still technically um independent wrestlers.
Mhm.
So like I said, and you know, and I guess and they fall on that WWE ID umbrella, independent development program, which I can get behind. So now you do got some. Now you do got most of them that stay at the PC that does work at the PC. But for
Mhm.
for the real main ones, they still do work everywhere else.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I take that back then. I thought that was all just talent that they just signed and was putting them on TV.
Mm-mm,
And
mm-mm.
my other negative about it is you kind of mentioned this when it comes to the black women. Why are they always street? 'Cause you got the one from Compton. That's the one that's real muscular. I don't know her name, and
Yeah,
she's street. Then we got another girl who went to the sister that went to, I want to say, Auburn. I think she did gymnastics in Auburn. She's street. Why do they all this street persona?
you know what though, your guess is good as mine. But, uh, but then again, like I said, look at the D'Angelo family in NXT. Like I said, I know you. I'm pretty sure none of them don't know anything about monster, monster stuff.
Right.
But yeah, I'm just, though, I will say this. I am glad that they're not, yeah, they're street, but they're street, but at the same time, they're not as, I guess hood boogers and whatnot.
Hmm.
Like I've seen some of that goes to the absolute depths of street mentality personas and stuff, which I absolutely cannot stand. Yeah,
You,
like
it's
I
like
say,
one person, one woman outstreets the next.
yeah, yeah. Now, like I said, I mean, no, I get what you're saying, and I get what you're saying, and like I said, I'm just glad they're not doing stuff like they're doing with the Mexicals and whatnot.
Hmm.
God, no, you remember the Mexicals, right?
Yes.
Oh God, man, if you want to talk about uh uh if you want to make comparisons about black women being hood and stuff, let's talk about the Mexicals real quick. That that was totally trash. that was totally racism at its finest.
Yes.
Like you come into the ring with Juan Deere tractor lawnmowers, man. Get your and we
Yeah.
thought it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
We had Chavo Guerrero coming in here with slacks and a sweater, and they pretty much whitewashed him and stuff
Yeah.
for a minute. Like I
Mm-hmm.
said, I I can accept this version of what street is in professional wrestling. Like I said, if Vince McMahon was still booking shows, man, I can only imagine what it would have been like now. Like you know, they probably doing a soft shoe and a step and fetch,
Mm-hmm.
just for opportunity. So I kind of like it, and I kind of like what they're doing with this direction and stuff. So now but at the same time, I get what you're saying though.
Right. Yeah, well, thanks for letting me know about the Evolve, because I thought that they were all just WWE talent. I didn't know they were independent wrestlers. Because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like, damn, why don't they just get out of the performance center?
yeah. Now they're still under that they're under that independent umbrella and stuff. So don't get it twisted. Don't get it
Mhm.
twisted. Like I said, they're still doing shows. They're still doing shows everywhere else.
Now, what do you think about the WWE LFG show?
You know what though? I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay.
I have not watched one episode, but I as soon as I get a chance, I will watch it now. And I'm curious of I've seen little clips here and there and stuff. You know what? I mean, it just it's just a game show to me. To be honest with you,
Right.
you know, yeah, I think all 16 of them athletes, they're gonna be stars, especially that one big Brody chick. What's her name? Bailey Hunt.
With the fat face, but she's not fat.
Yeah,
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 she's so odd looking, but that she's like a perfect fit.
yeah.
I mean,
She's yeah,
she really has something. I was going to ask you about her too. She has
yeah.
like if you look at her face, it's like she got like a real like she's real overweight. But when you see her body, she got a six pack and all
I'm,
that.
I'm telling you, boy, she look like Scott Steiner in drag.
And
But
go ahead.
she's so athletic though, man. I
Yep.
don't know.
Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm sorry.
And I don't know why Tom Steer was on there. That's
Yeah,
the Olympic wrestler.
yeah. That's the gold medal. Oh yeah, that's the gold medalist wrestler.
Yeah,
Yeah,
why they just can't sell her as a gold medalist?
you know what though? I don't know, but like I said, I don't. I see all of them as stars. Even they got Evander Holyfield's son.
Yeah,
In
Elijah.
there. Yeah, like
Mm.
dude, let's cut the crap, man. You know all 16 of them. Well, I would say 14 out of 16 are going to be stars.
Mm-hmm.
So in WWE,
Right.
and this is just, I guess this is the road less traveled right now for them.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I was just gonna ask you about that woman. I'm on the site and I'm trying to find her name.
Uh, Bailey Humphreys,
Okay.
that's her name. Like I said, she is just like I said. Her face is her face is but her body is
Yep. Yeah, that's her. That's her. And you look at her face like, good God. It's like just don't match.
No, it does not. But but that but like I said, that move that I seen her do and stuff.
Yeah,
Like I
yes,
said,
I know the movie you're talking about.
yeah, it looked real good though.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I like the Australian basketball player, Tatiana Doom is her name. And I like the Polynesian woman. I think her name is Penna.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like her too. Like you said, they all going to do something. That's why they on this TV show from the jump anyway.
like I said, it's just
Yeah.
like I said, I think they're going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
I think all of them will be good. Like I said, it's. I don't understand why they uh they got to take this route, but I guess whatever makes a dollar. I guess.
Right. And what kind of tricked me out is Bailey Humphrey background is in aerobics. I thought it was in like powerlifting or something, but from the looks of it on her picture, she was like a catcher on the
Yeah,
aerobic team. Yeah.
yeah. Which, like I said, it's just God, bro. She is just weird. It like the face card don't match the body.
Nope. Nope. And they talk about her like, boy, like they'll say like, boy, she's a perfect fit. She's like so odd looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, dog. Like I said, if they shoot someone up to the main roster, it'll probably be her.
Yep.
It's-
Mm-hmm.
But no, like I said, it's just a game. To me, it's just a game show,
Yeah.
and but the majority of them, they're gonna become huge stars and stuff. And I don't, like I said, I don't see anything. I don't see anything wrong with it. Like I said, it's just a road less traveled.
Right. Uh-huh. Now, have you seen the show Hollywood Demons with the Von Erich episode?
Uh-uh.
They
So
said it
wait a minute.
was they said it was good. I don't know what channel is Hollywood Demons on, but they I guess it's about, like how the pitfalls of Hollywood and all that stuff. And they did a episode on the Von Erichs. I didn't know anything about it until I looked at Wrestling Observer, and they talked about it, that it was a good show and all that stuff.
No, I gotta watch it. I haven't heard anything about it.
And Dark Side of the Ring, have you been looking at that?
Yeah, well, I haven't watched season 6.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
So you ain't see Tony Atlas and his foot fetish.
you know what though? If it had anything to do with Tony Atlas, I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh no, that's his thing. That he's in the
Yeah,
women's feet.
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. If it's got to do anything with Tony Atlas, like I said, it doesn't surprise me. He looks like. I'm sorry to say that. Tony Atlas looked like a weirdo.
uh, anything else you want to talk about?
No, I mean, like I said, man. Like I said, pro wrestling right now is at its apex. Like
Yes.
you can go on any streaming service right now and pull up pro wrestling,
Hmm.
and and you can sit down, you can watch it all the live long day, and you'll find the best matches and stuff. So if anyone listening to this, if anyone's still listening to this by the time, get off, get off the Twitter bots, get off, get off people, get off what, how people should book matches. Just be a fan. Just be a fan of the sport, because wrestling right now is at its peak, and you can't be a fan first. Go to a show. Like I said, train to be a wrestler, train to be a referee, train to be a valet, manager, commentator, whatever. Be that, get into the business. Don't sit behind the keyboard and stuff, and and tell me how you should do a match.
Right.
Go out there, pay your dues, then come holler, then come talk about the sport. But always be first and foremost, always be a fan before you be a critic.
Now, speaking of streaming, did you see that WWE has been putting WCW matches on YouTube?
Yeah, which I think they should. Like I said, shoot, you go on Peacock right now and watch old WCW matches. So like I said, don't be a historian, be a fan, man. Enjoy the sport. Because yeah, like I said, it's at its apex now. People are actually enjoy it. Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it for the people that's watching it. Be a fan.
Yep. Because I don't understand why would you put one against the other when we all supposed to enjoy both.
Yeah, and that's like I said, it's like it's baffling to me. Like, do I think one is better than the other? No. They're both good, but one got their own set of style that they like to do.
Right.
And so, y'all, like I said, stop looking at how ratings slide. Stop reading ratings. Stop, stop having these guys, put stars on a match. Jesus, just be a fan of the sport.
Yep.
It's gonna be all right. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So let me get off my soapbox, because I can go all day. I'll go all night with this.
All right, you can reach the Judgementals on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube at PNL Judgementals, Instagram at _Judgementals, or you can email us at pnljudgementals@gmail.com. Now, Josh, what's your information?
You can reach me on Facebook, Josh Evans. You can reach me on Instagram and TikTok, The Big Stat. You can reach me. You can reach me on Snapchat. I'm _ The Big Stat. That's pretty much it.
No, it's not, because you got your T-shirt on. You got to give us your catchphrase.
Bad. All right, I got you. Get your mind right. Get your stats up, baby.
All right, Josh.
All right, man.